Once again, Belfast is on the world stage. The Prime Minister visited us last week to tell us really that the Windsor Agreement is one of the best economic deals we're going to have in this place for a very long time. I'm joined today by Mark Anderson, and Mark is the Customs and Operations Manager for Westmond Logistics, based here in Bangor. So, Mark, you're very welcome to the feature.
Thank you very much for having me.
Is this good for small businesses now? Is this Windsor Agreement and the Green Channel, as we're all talking about, is that good for business?
Yeah, I think face value, definitely. It does look like a fantastic deal. It's definitely bring us a way more advanced than where we were before or currently. But I do feel that there is still a lot of concern and grey areas that the government need to address and publicise so that small businesses or even larger businesses understand their requirements going forward.
Is it actually going to reduce the paperwork that people have to do?
Yeah, no, definitely. It will reduce elements of the current paperwork that's needed, but there is still requirements there. So currently the customs paperwork that has to be done, the supplementary declarations, for example, they will be done away with. However, there is this still need for a data document is what they're calling it, rather than a customs declaration. But it's still 21 fields that have to be completed. Now, who completes that? Is it the trader? Is it the carrier, or is it the haulier who takes the good across the border? That's unknown. And what information is that is needed? Now, yes, it is a big difference compared to what was originally required, but it's still something the traders have to be involved in.
We seem to have definitely created a problem in the last couple of years whereby there are now companies in GB who actually won't send goods to Northern Ireland. Some department stores, for example. So do we now have a job to try and get these companies back on track and actually say to them, well, you can now send to Northern Ireland? Is there a whole re-education programme that we need to get involved with?
Definitely, yeah. It is, as was Brexit, it's a challenge that we were all going to have to face once again. We have to try and convince people that it is, the free movement is there, and what it entails for each party involved in that movement, who's responsible for what element of the supply chain. But at the same time, a lot of companies will still not want to maybe deal with Northern Ireland because they don't know, is this the end? Will it change again in a year's time, 2 years' time? We just don't know yet.
So I suppose, Mark, our listeners are interested. Is this going to make a change on our supermarket shelves? Are we going to see a reduction in prices? Is this going to help our cost of living crisis here, do you think, if we have green channels?
Yeah, I think the green channels will allow, obviously, movement of goods a bit more freely than what they are now. And we should certainly see the availability of certain products becoming more available on our shelves. So hopefully when we walk into our supermarkets, we won't see them empty. And we should see some reduction in prices. I would hope so.
Are we still in a position with things like food products and some medicines, for example? Are they still going to be subject to higher levels of checks and perhaps things like, washing machines and tumble dryers, for example?
Yeah, under the new treaty, from what we can see, those kind of products that have no higher controls or requirements in relation to customs paperwork will actually be easier moved across. Now, the full details of those haven't been released, and there's these grace periods once again being brought into the mix to say that no SPS controls, etc., won't happen until a later date.
Mark, you're very much at the forefront of logistics coming in here. So if people and businesses in particular want to talk to you and get a bit more information, how can they go about that?
They can contact us via email at info@westmond.com, or they can visit our website www.westmond.com, or pick up the phone and one of our team will be happy to help.
You can contact me by email michelle.lestis@belfast89.com. You're listening to In Biz at Belfast 89 FM, the feature that's all about business and for business in and around the city.